Mama G's heels clacked on the living room tiles in anger as she awaited Caleb's arrival. The sound echoed through the house, a clear signal of her displeasure. Exhausted from the stress of the day, Caleb walked in and barely had time to drop his bag before Mama G pounced. "What's going on in this house, Caleb?" Mama G queried. Her voice was sharp and demanding. Caleb sighed, rubbing his temples. "Good evening, Mama. What happened? Your marriage with Susan was just a few months ago and she's starting to behave like this." Mama G lamented, throwing her hands up in exasperation. "If care isn't taken, I must chase her out of my son's house. There are lots of single ladies out there who need my son." Caleb's eyes widened. "Mama, what did Susan do this time?" Mama G took a deep breath, ready to unleash her grievances. "Can you imagine? I came to pay you people a visit, and Susan tells me she can't welcome me because she's in a hurry to go to a club party. She said I should get fast food or perhaps noodles." "Noodles, Caleb? As old as I am, I should be eating noodles." Caleb tried to suppress a smile but failed. "Mama, maybe she was just in a rush." "A rush to where?" "The world is spinning and we must spin with it," she says. Meanwhile, the daughter-in-laws of my friends are pounding yam for them. "But me, I should eat noodles." Mama G's voice rose with each word. Caleb couldn't help but chuckle. "Mama, you know Susan is different. She's modern." "What do you mean by modern?" Mama G asked. "If this is what modern means, then I don't want it. I want a daughter-in-law who respects her elders and knows how to take care of her family." Just then, the door opened, and Susan walked in, her face glowing from the excitement of the party. "Good evening, Mama." "Good evening, Caleb." Mama G turned to Susan, her eyes narrowed. "Susan, do you know what you did today?" Susan looked confused. "What did I do, Mama?" "You left me here, telling me to eat noodles while you went to a party. Is that how to treat your mother at home?" Susan's eyes widened in realization. "Oh, Mama, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I was just in a hurry, and I thought noodles would be quick and easy." "Quick and easy? For who?" "Certainly not for me," Mama G retorted. Caleb interrupted, trying to diffuse the tension. "Mama, Susan didn't mean any harm. She's just not used to our ways yet. Let's give her some time." Mama G huffed but seemed to calm down a bit. The next day at Eagles Club. The night was young, and the Eagles Club was buzzing with energy. The neon lights flickered, casting a colorful glow over the dance floor. The DJ was spinning the latest hits, and the crowd was ready to let loose. Among the sea of dancers, two ladies stood out, captivating everyone with their expert dancing skills. Susan and Cynthia were the stars of the night. Cynthia, with her slim and flexible body, moved with the grace of a ballerina. Her every step was fluid, and her every move was mesmerizing. She twirled and spun, her long hair whipped around her like a halo. The crowd couldn't take their eyes off her as she rocked the club in a very beautiful way. Susan, on the other hand, had the whole package. She was curvier than Cynthia, with a confidence that radiated from her every pore. Her dance moves were bold and powerful, making the other strip dancers at the Eagles Club grin with envy. Susan's presence was magnetic, and she knew how to work the crowd. Every time she moved, the guys couldn't help but spray money on her. The two friends danced side by side, each taking the money meant for the other. It was a playful competition, and the crowd loved it. The guys were throwing bills left and right, cheering and whistling as Susan and Cynthia danced their hearts out. Suddenly, Susan felt a wave of dizziness wash over her. She stumbled slightly, and her vision blurred. She knew she needed to get to the restroom before she collapsed. "Excuse me, she muttered to Cynthia, trying to keep her voice steady. Cynthia noticed the change in her friend's demeanor and immediately followed her. "Susan, are you okay?" she asked, concern etched on her face. Susan didn't answer. She pushed through the crowd, making her way to the restroom. Cynthia was right behind her, her mind racing with worry. What could be wrong with Susan? In the restroom, Susan leaned against the sink, taking deep breaths. Cynthia rushed to her side, her eyes wide with concern. "Susan, what's going on? Are you pregnant?" Susan's eyes widened in shock. "Pregnant? It can't be," she exclaimed, shaking her head. "I mean, I don't think so." Cynthia raised an eyebrow. "You don't think so?" "Susan, that's not exactly reassuring." Susan sighed, running a hand through her hair. "I don't know, Cynthia. I've been feeling off lately, but I didn't think it was anything serious." Cynthia crossed her arms, giving Susan a stern look. "Well, we need to find out. You can't just ignore something like this." Susan nodded, feeling a mix of fear and uncertainty. "You're right. I'll make an appointment with the doctor tomorrow." Cynthia smiled, giving her friend a reassuring hug. "Good. Now, let's get you some water and sit down for a bit. You need to take care of yourself." As they made their way back to the club, the crowd was still buzzing with excitement. The guys were still throwing money, and the music was still pumping. But for Susan and Cynthia, the night had taken a serious turn.